Individual-based leadership is built on an assumption that everyone is different, is motivated differently, has different expectations to their environment, and needs to be treated differently. This is common knowledge, but how do you do it? Start with yourself. People are not machines and cannot be treated as such. You often know very early when a machine is broken. Either it stops or damages something. There are visible signs, and a skilled repairman will fix it in a flash. People are not that way. You cannot clearly see how the individual is broken or well oiled and trimmed, and it is not done with a quick fix. Management tools like coaching, feedback, setting clear goals, and following up are not the answers. Tools can support you, but the answer is you, your curiosity, presence, focus, and desire to empower and develop people. When it all starts with you, there are some critical questions you have to answer before you choose individual-based leadership. Do I want to understand the employee's motivation, support others who do not have the same preferences as I have, acknowledge the successes the employees have, even though I would have done it differently, recognize and appreciate the smaller steps taken on something I believe is easy, but where it is not the employee's preference, adjust my expectations according to what is possible for the employee with the preferences and present competences. Support and challenge another individual to take a step which is at the moment inside but out of reach for that person. Sometimes allow myself not to be the smartest person in the room. Ask instead of having all the answers. Set clear goals taking into account what gives the individual employee energy and what serves the company. Follow up in respect for what the individual is capable of and what is the potential. Keep the long-term goal in sight and at the same time support the individual in the moment. See conflicts and mistakes as potential for the future. Make sure others work with what gives them energy, motivation, self-confidence, and self-esteem. Ensure that the person and job is a good match, even though a person may have to leave the team. Be a specialist on leading and using most of my time leading. Lead when the employees are there and not when they've gone home. With individual-based leadership, your starting point is the employee's motivation and not your own. Management and leadership are hidden in a figurative sense in this example. If you imagine a famous singer's bodyguard, he has a part of the responsibility for how well the singer is performing on stage. He has to make sure that everything around the singer supports him or her. The singer is focused on delivering on stage, and the bodyguard is focused on clearing the way to make sure nothing disturbs the singer. The singer's personal trainer has trained effectively with the singer on both old and new songs, again and again, to be sure the singer remembers every tone and word. The singer's manager is close to the singer at all times to make sure the singer is full of confidence, self-esteem, and energy to be able to perform best as possible every time. As long as the singer keeps delivering on stage, the bodyguard, personal trainer, and manager have a permanent job. Imagine then that the singer suddenly gets frightened of performing on stage. It is the bodyguard, personal trainer, and manager's responsibility to help the singer back on track. If that is not possible, their responsibility should be to help the singer find another arena where he or she will match better. With individual-based leadership, you are the bodyguard, the personal trainer, and the manager. You have to make sure the employees are filled with self-confidence and self-esteem, trained in the assignment, and that you have cleared the way for the employees so they can perform at their best. If that is not enough in relation to requirements and expectations, then help the employee to find a place where job requirements and person is a better match. The individual, leadership, and management go hand in hand. Management. Structure interactions with each employee. Focus on meeting the company's strategy. Leadership. Help each employee to build upon individuality to perform even better. The individual. The person's values, intention, preferences, self-image, and self-learning. Management is structuring interactions with the employees to set goals and follow up on achievements. Enter the leadership path, lead and manage performance, to learn more about how to meet the employees in different types of meetings and in a structured quarterly cycle. Leadership is your ability to be curious about the employee's values, preferences, self-image, intention, and behavior. Your tools are foremost coaching and giving feedback, and the purpose is to help the employee meet the goals and celebrate achievements. Enter the leadership path, lead and manage development, to learn more about coaching and feedback. The individual is the employee's values, preferences, self-image and self-learning. The person's intention and behavior is reflected in that. Seen through the iceberg image, the individual is hidden well under the water surface. Leadership is about helping the person use the individuality in an even better way. This means that the leader must be curious and try to understand what is below the water surface. Focus is on personal behavior that is work-related and not private matters. Management is above the water surface, with the demands for the employee related to the company's vision, mission, values, strategy, and goals. It is also about structuring interactions to help the employees set clear goals and increase performance and learning. Prerequisite for you as a leader to work with individual-based leadership is trust. The employee needs to trust that the manager wants him or her to be seen, heard, taken seriously, and recognized and appreciated. People's motivation depends on the basic values and convictions they have, which are related to the personal profile. The important to know is that there are not two people who are completely alike, meaning other people cannot be expected to think and act like you. Because no one is exactly like you, your starting point is to find out what it is exactly that motivates every employee. To find that out, you have to ask, and the first couple of questions can, for instance, be: what motivates you in daily work? What is a really good day for you? Think of the last time you came home from work and told your family you have had a really good day. What was it that made it so good? What is a bad day for you? What makes a day bad for you? There's a difference between a person's productivity on a good, average, and a bad day. The more you can help and inspire a person to have good days, the more the company will gain. You cannot guess what motivates your employees, and if you have never asked them these kind of questions, you will be surprised of the answers you get. Plus, minus, and zero production. The needs which are not met in everyday life will often be transformed into zero or minus production. When you study the following part, be aware of: behind every frustration there is a broken dream. Zero productivity is when the employee decreases speed to zero to make room for present thoughts and frustrations. The employee has inner dialogues such as: why did I get frustrated? How should I understand what was said? How should I react now? To whom should I tell my concerns? Why did I not say anything in the moment? Who can help me? Who will understand me? What group am I a part of now? Questions which lies unexplained and are difficult to answer. The employee may sit at the desk with the fingers on the keyboard, but nothing happens. Sentences are written but have to be erased again because they do not make sense. A text can be read several times but not understood because the inner dialogue has led the focus somewhere else. It is not because the employee does not want to do his or her best, but something is just in the way which is so massive it makes it impossible to focus. By far the largest part of the workforce actually wishes to do their best. When that is not the case, it is your job as a leader to clear the way by discovering what it is really all about so the employee can start focusing again. You may ask yourself now if you're capable to discover all that is happening in the employee's inner work life, especially the things you do not understand and is not consistent with your own view of how the world should be. The answer is curiosity and training, and the conviction that your increased competences will bring you and the team even more success. Train your curiosity and start by asking questions like: you look thoughtful, what is that all about? It seemed like you were not mentally present at the meeting today. What did you have on your mind? Minus production. If the frustration is discussed with other co-workers too, maybe by the coffee machine or when the source of the frustration is not in the office, then it can be contagious. Maybe the co-worker has a broken dream too, which is now brought back to life. This is minus production. The incident is not just isolated to one person, but has been allowed to spread to more people who have not been directly involved in the incident. How do frustrations appear and what is the broken dream? Your employees know about their own broken dreams, so ask. When you have asked the questions, what motivates you? What demotivates you? And you get the answers, then find out what you can do as a manager to help the employee live according to his or her values. You may very well wonder why a particular value is important to an employee. Just remember that people are different, and if you do not understand the employee's intention or behavior, it is just a matter of you two having different profiles with different preferences. There's no right or wrong when it comes to preferences. It is all in the eyes of the beholder. Once a story reaches the coffee machine, it is more difficult to change. One person has said their opinion to another, and returning to that person saying, "I was wrong," can be very hard. That is why you save a lot of time and work if you take the matter up as soon as possible. Easier said than done, since you do not always know what is cooking, even though you try your best to be present. The invisible hire and fire sign around your neck often holds people back in telling you the whole truth. Plus production. Employees when they are at their best. The most important is that the employees chosen for the team have preferences and potential behavior that will benefit the team and the company. You will only get the very best out of the employee when the employee lives in the best edition of themselves. Your success is dependent on how the employees are performing. When you recognize and appreciate the employees for what they are, you are likely to decrease frustration and increase productivity. Your ability can be read in the company's result. You increase plus production when there are synergies and energy in the team. You can get that by, for instance, sharing the smaller daily successes, recognizing and appreciating what you see and hear, and take people seriously for their opinions and perception of the workplace. Here are a couple of examples of a manager's response leading to increased energy and thus plus production. Notice that it doesn't cost the manager anything. Hunter: I've noticed that you're sharing your experience of getting faster results when prioritizing the customers. I appreciate it, and it has had a positive effect on the whole team's result. Conqueror: Hello, Ellie. I just want you to know that your idea in the meeting today will mean a lot for how we will cope with the extra workload in the next few months. I see that you have a good overview and are fast in seeing opportunities in complex tasks. Nurse: I'm very touched by the way you supported Mark to see that it was not him, but the supplier who was the reason for the mistake. Scientist: Thank you for your thought-through analysis. It made a big impression on the top management, and they know now that it is you who are behind it. It has concretely meant that the decision which has been put on hold for so long is now decided, thanks to the facts in your analysis. The manager has used the employees' motivational factors as a starting point and has given a positive feedback that motivates each individual. In this case it is Hunter: fast results and success. Conqueror: overview, ideas and making a difference for the team. Nurse: be something for others and mean something in close relationships. Scientist: knowledge, details and facts. Thoughts from the employees may very well be: my manager likes me. My manager thinks I'm skilled. I have one more idea I will work more on before I present it to my manager. I think I'm good at. I could actually also help the others with. Maybe I could also. I'm happy that my manager also appreciates. Now I will quickly finish these tasks so I can. I think I will speed up a bit now. I have a slight cold, but it will probably blow over fast. The others are busy, so I better help. You can develop plus production without any extra costs. You just have to be where it happens so you can discover the difference that makes the difference.